All right, guys, welcome back. Liquid had a massive lead on map 1, but that evaporated. Renegades took it back by force on the second half and ended up taking Cobble 16-14. Close in the end, but definitely a battle of momentum. And now we head over to Overpass. Liquid's map choice. They've been excellent on the CT side of it as of late, but their their T sides have been hit or miss, so they're going to have to show up right now, Vince.
Absolutely are, and they've got to put that previous map loss to the back of their mind, right? Because at the end of the day, it was Renegade's choice of map to start off with. Yes, it was very close. Yes, it was backwards and forwards. Yes, Liquid should have won that. I don't think anyone's going to deny that fact. But at the same time, you've got to put one foot in front of the other. It's done. It's in the past. Focus on the present. They still can take this series 2-1. They still can progress through. It's do or die, though. This map, they have to win.
Absolutely. And again, it's the same things that we're going to look at. Adren's got to come up with the op again. Didn't see a lot from him last game, but of course they didn't really use it on the T side because things were rolling so well with the AKs, and they didn't really have the chance to bring it out on the CT side because they didn't have money. But Nitro, Elige, they're going to be massive on the T side, and Fugly and Hiko are going to have to close things on CT for the Australians. See if Sponge can get them rolling a little bit sooner. I'd like to see a little bit more from Azure. I know we've seen a lot from JKS already, but Azure would be another one mid-round that I think we need to see a lot more frags from.
Yeah, and I think a key aspect to this map, it always is, but especially when these two teams are involved, is Connector. You have to have control of Connector and Overpass because it's so easy for terrorists to rotate from one side to the other in the blink of an eye. If the CTs can get a player or two in there, hold it down, it gives you so much information, it allows you to dictate the pace of the map. So watch out for Connector here. I think we're going to see a lot of action there.
And remember, if needed, we go to Cash as the decider, which could be, oh, that's a great camera angle to start us off. He's as scared and timid as we are for the result of this one. I'd love it to go 3 maps just because it's been entertaining, but probably for some of the wrong reasons for the enthusiasts out there. Lots of mistakes made that led to where we are. Either way, we're going to see dualies again for the Australians to start things off after their slight buff. 2 Zeuses as well, but right now the pressure will go toward the bathrooms. Azure boosted up already, but Nitro finding that kill will slow them down. Can Havoc get back into it with only 1? He's going to get caught by Fugly as he tries to run away from the raiding party on the stairwell. And this now gives a 4-2 lead for Team Liquid.
A bit surprising to me that they only put 1 player in the pistol round in Connector. Surely like 2 would be a lot more beneficial, and we see just that raw manpower comes out on top. JKS still with the aforementioned Jewel. Brett is alive just for a few more seconds. He's been taken down. It's all on Yam. He's been picked off, and Liquid with a very comfortable pistol round victory. Perfect way to start for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like we said, the T side is a bit hit or miss, so getting that start on the T side will definitely move things forward, so long as they avoid the anti-eco. I don't think they were not ecoed. Actually, they ecoed Renegades last game.
Yeah,
to start it off.
It still blows my mind the way that Adren plays with that keyboard, man.
Everyone's got weird land setups. We saw Zevez yesterday. He played the left-handed mouse.
Yeah.
So there's a few odd ducks out there.
JDM, of course, so chilled. You think he's sleeping while playing. But here comes the fast push from Liquid with the Mag 10. And the AK-47 as well. They are going to lose 1 player, but this should still be the round going their way. I say that actually, it's a 3-on-2. And with that CZ in play, you never quite know. Well, I say that, and Sponge has been picked off. It's all on Yam. He's at the back of sight. He's been spotted. He's been fragged. And Liquid do indeed take the 2-0.
Pick up that AK-47 that was dropped in the water as well, so that's a huge plus.
Yeah, pretty important there for them. And
not quite as efficient as we started off. Another weird thing, Jordan Nothing Gilbert does it as well, but dual mouse pads for Hiko. Consistency on the table.
Nice. So they've transitioned as well from the Mac 10 and such to just a full-on assault rifle by Galil in the hands of Hiko. It's full eco from Renegades as well. An aggressive push from Sponge. And this is giving a bit of information. Maybe you can get round the back of the terrorists and pull up a frag.
Well, this is the thing. He's got the information because of the B stack. So now that he's taken down by Fugly, actually Deathcam would have called. He could have called that if he spots more than that, they rotate back to A, but Deathcam would have spotted Fugly running back down the stairwell, so they can sit on top of this site. Elige will take down Yam. Dren follows it up, and even with 4 players on the site, it's essentially flawless. Watch out for Azure, though. He's sitting inside this smoke. He's going to get behind them, whiffs on the shot, does manage to take down Elige. This could have been a lot more interesting than it's turning out to be because only able to pick up the 1. I would love to see him even go for an instant defuse on top of that bomb.
Originally, that's what I thought he was going to go for, you know. I thought he'd be super cheeky, but he doesn't have a kit, so would have probably backfired nonetheless. But here we go. There's going to be a buy-up from the Australians, looking to bounce back on Overpass. There's Azza. Now, this is the moment where I thought he may just try like the cheeky defuse, or maybe go for the bomb planter instead and try and be as much of a pain in the backside as possible. But either way, we are going to see an open play here from Renegades. Fast pushing from Yam onto the bathroom. Spots absolutely nothing because Liquid, again, looking to opt to force onto this B side.
This is one of the things we're going to have to watch as well, the default setup from either side, because a lot of teams will push bathroom aggressively with 3 members on the A and 2 on B. It looks like they've elected for 3 on B here. So far it's paying off because Havoc's gone down, but JKS has picked up 2 and sponged through the smoke, just spotting the barrel of Fugly's gun. Able to go for more and go forward, but Adren drops him inside that construction zone. Low HP for JKS. Bomb still in the hands of Adren, and Yam so close as he fires through the boards. Hiko's going to get the boost, see if they can spot anyone at all, either toward the toxic barrels or the window. Neither are occupied. Got 45 seconds. They've got a lot of time to work with, and 2 Molotovs as well when they work onto that bomb site. Now he's got information. That works.
Yep. And also, judging by the position where that CT is, it stands to reason there's probably a second one around where JKS is stood. This is not the kind of angle that Azza's going to be using unless he has cavalry there, because you can be pushed up from pit and just shot on the side. So I think, you know, Hiko, as smart as he is going to realize that. But they're still pushing in nonetheless. They don't have the choice to go back to A because time is such a huge factor. And here comes Hiko taking point for his team. He gets dropped, and the hopes and prayers of Liquid R2 in this round. So the Australians hold on to their first force buy, I should say. You can see there behind them. Coach is giving them taps on the back.
I would have liked to see a way for them to use that one flash that they had. He had information there was one in the site. I know he wanted to enter, but even if he just throws it loosely into the site, not even in a way so as to blind the opponent, but at least make them turn so he gets that extra second. But ultimately they died with both Molotovs and that flashbang still on the belts. And it will see the AWP go this time not toward the bathrooms, aggressively toward Monster based on Yam's spawn. One of the things Liquid needs to read on this is a lot of teams have that default smoke that bounces off the bridge from spawn. And when teams don't smoke Monster, they usually get aggressive trying to peek it. So if Liquid can get a read at what Yam's up to with that AWP or start to pick up on those little habits, it'll be beneficial for them.
Definitely. And JKS bagged himself 2 frags from Monster as well, so it may be an area where Renegades consistently want to have quick, cheeky peeks on. That being said, no early bloodshed in this round. All 10 players alive and kicking. Only JKS has lost HP, just 19 in total for him. And really, neither team has got a great deal of information. Finally, there has been some spotted. Yam misses the shot.
He's trapped.
That doesn't necessarily tell him a great deal. All it says is, okay, there's a guy in long. That doesn't give them a definitive answer as to what the push is going to be, what the play is going to be from Liquid.
There's no escape plan for Adren, though. That's the problem right now, is that Yam can just hold that angle. It's going to put a lot more pressure on the players at the front of Bathroom to force them off it, and they have. And when they walk in, they don't account for Sponge being forward of the bomb site. So he's able to take down the first kill, and Yam will walk back through the smoke and take down Adren. That AWP looking forward had the line of sight, but the vision prohibited by the smoke. And that does allow 2 kills to come back the way of Liquid, spamming through. Yam is able to spot that inside with the AWP, still not down in the end, but Hiko gets him as he wraps back around the box for safety, and it's into a one-on-one. JKS versus Hiko, and Hiko, he'll clutch it out. Bomb was dropped, but the duel, it goes Liquid's way.
But he saw the bomb dropped on top of the boxes there. He definitely saw that. A bit... maybe in the heat of the moment, didn't realize the time. I'm not entirely sure, but there was like 10 seconds when they went for that duel at the end.
I think Hiko was forward enough that he would have been able to get on the chase had he hit the shot when he ran down the stairwell regardless.
Such a close round again, though, for both teams. But you can see that Renegade's definitely worse for wear on the CT side. This is a map where you're expecting the CTs to get a pretty healthy amount of rounds, at least 9, I would say. And so far, so good for Liquid, already opting for the push-up. Made a Liege picks himself up too. Havoc has to move his way back onto the B side. They're still putting all their eggs in this basket from Renegade's perspective. And it could pay off for them because the bomb is starting to move in here.
Hiko's going to try and take this tool, holds down the spray, and is successful. Now he's going to get bailed out, though, because Sponge is coming through, and a Liege came to the rescue, but ultimately just took bullets so Hiko could reload and then get the kill himself. add more stats for Hiko, but add more rounds for Team Liquid. You gotta start to wonder the trends of what we've been seeing throughout the course of the week. Again, we're on day 3, and a lot of T-sided halves. How much has this patch really changed?
That's the question, isn't it?
This one's obviously just getting started. We won't call it a T-sided half just yet, but either way, it's an interesting talking point.
But the thing is that a lot of people, when they mention the changes, it's just revolving around, oh, the M4 has changed, and therefore, like, that's the main issue. The thing is, with the hitbox changing as well, like, the CTs can't afford to go for those cheeky peeks as much because you can get punished. You know, you can have your head ripped off if you jump up, for example, or quickly peek around a corner. So that in itself also counteracts some of the CT's prowess beforehand. And Liquid, again, though, we've already seen this happen, right? They take a huge lead on the T side, and it comes crumbling down. So let's hope from their perspective it's not a repeat performance here.
That shot you're talking about as well, jumping up over those boards, we saw Dupree do that against Envious on this exact map in London just this past week. So, yeah, I mean, it definitely can play a factor in this.
But I'm all for that because I would like maps to be a lot closer.
Absolutely, no, 100%. I think the jumping hitboxes thing was an issue to begin with. It also, and more importantly for me, does give something to counter at the jump scout, which has been a problem for a while. Either way, Liquid looking poised to take yet another round here. Pistol, 5-7. Does take down Nitro. That's an upgrade available. There's a gun there if he walks forward, and Elise will take down Havoc. He'll make the better, safer play, and because Havoc's gun has fallen down the stairwell, he doesn't need to expose himself, and it's one M4 that could potentially survive into the next round, but Liquid are poised to take number 6, which we usually say on this map is enough, but I dare not so far this week, and especially after last map when Liquid were up 9-1.
That's very true, although Cobblestone I also feel is more friendly for T sides. Overpass not so much. So let's hypothetically say that Liquid pick up 10 rounds on this. Then going through into CT side, I think it's a lot harder for Renegades to come back from that deficit than it was on Cobblestone.
He lost the gun at the end too. He did do some economic damage, took 2 down, but ultimately the M4 gets dropped.
Because this map can reward aggressive CT play as well. As I said before, Connector is like a massive vital role for the CTs. So yeah, I think already Renegades are going to be a bit worried about this. This could get out of control really fast.
There it is at the end, just when the bomb, he just took enough damage that it would catch him. I think that's right. Andrews and I were talking about this. He's looked up all the radiuses, of course, but that's right on the edge of where that detonation radius from A site is as well, so that damage would have been just enough to allow for the bomb to kill him, and that forces pistols against all 5 players right now on Renegades.
And this is why you're seeing Liquid playing so passive. Like, they've called this, they realize it's an eco. You don't want to push it and get caught in some kind of a trap. So waiting instead makes a lot more sense. I think they did catch a glimpse of a couple of players there, so I feel like overall this has probably been Cole Fugly in no man's land. He's behind enemy lines right now, and he's about to get charged down. That's a frag. More importantly, though, it's an AK in the hands of Renegades, and that was a clear kill as well. They lost no HP at the process.
He walked clean into a trap. Now, what's the call going to be off this? Hiko's got the bomb, and he's actually alone on the off-site right now. They've rotated through B, though. They've gone down the stairs and back toward A because they have no information. They didn't spot anyone that entire journey around the world, so like we'll group back up now, and Hiko's early pick. They'll slowly gather toward B. I shouldn't say early. We're down to 30 seconds left, and they are going to walk into a stack by the time this happens because they know this map does cause long rotations, and with them pushing forward toward these tunnels, it's a rather clear indication of where they're headed.
Sponge is in a position as well where he could bait his teammates out with the AK. Like, this is a really good setup from the CTs in this kind of position. What a one-tap that is from JKS, and here comes Sponge. He's still alive. As I said, he's baited his opposition, and he's got 10 seconds. A 1 versus 1. Alish is getting tagged, but will get the bomb planted. There's no armor on Sponge. The aim punch could be real. This next bullet could prove to be so crucial, and we saw it there. Sponge's sights started to aim towards the heavens, and that's where he's headed himself. What an unfortunate round that was from Renegades, though.
That was hugely unfortunate, but still quite good when you consider that started off as an eco, and that AK that they picked up on that first kill almost was the nail in the coffin. What pushed this over the edge, because we saw they come down to the one-on-one duel. JKS on the site as well. That shot around the pillar.
That was sick. It's USP as well, wasn't it?
It was.
Very nicely done. But here we go.
And there's double up. As in, not so much double on one side, but two ops in play. Adren and Yam each having one this time. And Adren, T-side op. He doesn't normally pick this up. So this is pretty interesting that they're electing to do so on Overpass.
I don't want to be negative and say, you know, that round means nothing for Renegades, but at the end of the day, contextually, they're still 7-1 behind on their CT side of Overpass. So close yet so far. And this is a massive round as well, by the way. Like, if they can salvage, I want to say if they get to 6 or 7 rounds, I feel they could potentially come back into this. Anything less than that, though, and I think this is going to the third map. So Liquid know it as well. Like, they are just hanging around, looking for any free kill they can, and Yam narrowly missing out on that first pick.
Tries again as well off his own flash. Doesn't yet spot up Fugly, who is getting closer and closer to the front of bathrooms. The Azur's there, though, in that crossfire position. 3 kits.
This is leaving it very late,
CTs, but yeah, look at the utilities. There's nothing left. They're going to walk in completely clean here, Team Liquid, but they've still got to take the kills as Yam picks up his second, and Adren does eventually burn him alive. Nitro had one before that, so it does leave us in 3s, and the trades continue. JKS in and out as Hiko follows up on him. Bomb now just getting in position. No smoke to cover off Hiko, so they've got to hold this off, and they won't. Sponge is going to walk in, and Havoc comes from the other side. They'll get the defuse, and finally their second round, but keep in mind, money bonus now becomes a factor.
Yeah, you raised a really good point there as the execution came in. CT's had no utility at the end there. Absolutely nothing. So it all came as a result of just getting a couple picks onto the site. Yes, they win the round, and that round loss bonus is now gone. And they did lose 3 weapons. So this round they are going to be able to get a decent buy-up, but I'm looking more into the future here. 2 AWPs, though, in play for Renegades. They did pick up the second one.
Yeah, this is Adren's op that they've picked up to use against them, as Nitro's limited to just the 5-7. Winning this, though, as I said, though, resetting that money bonus, Team Liquid could find themselves in a very good position. Remember, this is where we had that position, or that situation on Cobblestone, where when they picked up the second round Renegades, if they'd reset it then, they probably would have had 13-2, and who knows, that might have been enough to secure the game, because 11-4 turned out not to be.
You can see JKS has no armor, and so therefore he's playing barrels, which makes a lot of sense because he can just peek out, have a couple taps. It reduces the chance of him getting hit and aim punch coming into fruition. So I like that position, but this could prove to be a bit of an issue for Renegades if it gets down to the close scenarios again. They do have plenty of utility to play with, though, still. Although some of that is being expended right now.
Yeah, trying to find an aggressive peek again toward the front of bathrooms. No one there. And he's going to play this 1-2 punch as Sponge is going to pick up the first kill, getting aggressive at Monster, so...
Did he disturb his Molotov? I feel like he bounced it off the wall.
Either way, Fugly's going to pick up Azur. This does get them closer, and an excellent second shot. Yam goes down, still one more in the A site. But they walk in, it's Havoc who picks up the AWP. The second AWP into play, and now Sponge is inside B. They're going to try and walk in, but he can still shut this down as he's in a great position. JKS follows up on a leash, and the bomb planter Nitro left in a 1-on-2, which does mean they know exactly where he's playing, and there is a slight gap in that smoke, even if he wants to go out of it. But an excellent shot. And now things slow down and stabilize. JKS has a kit, but no armor. Needs to get back on top of this bomb. And as well as that, no nades to keep Nitro from peeking. And he now hears it, but this is again a bait, and Nitro's just going to play this smart. So long as he doesn't give enough time for JKS, he might be able to win this round. And perfect. It's done. It's well done indeed.
Yep. Perfect.
Nitro's going to go down either way. This AK is going to be lost, but they'll reset that money bonus. I think he just wanted to do damage so the bomb would kill JKS as well.
Sponge was nearly an absolute hero there for his team, though. Like, it was a fake onto the site, and by and large, Renegades bought it. It was only Sponge who was on the B site. He managed to get 2 frags from that position, fended off the initial plant. Unfortunately, though, it still wasn't enough. And very well played at the end from Nitro. It was Fugly that was trying to sell that fake. That first frag was sick from Nitro in the 1v2. I thought for a second he was just going to tap across and get the second one as well, not to be the case. And you can see here, Renegades, they've gone for the force buy. So they've only got an M4, a scout, and some pistols in play. Bare bones at best.
Shot from JKS is the first kill, but followed up. That's the M4 that he saved gone. Yam tried to force up a scout beside that. It's not with a deagle from Sponge, but he's actually gone through the smoke in mid and behind the bomb plant at B, which means they have a retake potential from 2 prongs here. And the smoke on the bomb. Are they going to try and get creative? Sponge has a 10-second defuse held, but Adren's already spotted him. His body just protruding beyond the edge of the smoke as Nitro follows on Havoc. Things are falling apart for the Australians. One more to go, and Adren will get that as well. 3 kills total for him in the round, and a 9th round for Liquid total.
Oh, that economy hurts. Hits you right in the feels. 1900 on 2 players, 1950 on Yam. And, well, I think that force buy may have been the last hurrah on their CT side, honestly. Like, Liquid are poised to potentially even get, like, 11 or 12 rounds on their T side, which is just absolutely ridiculous. The only player with a positive KDA and indeed going neck and neck with his opposition is JKS. He's been performing very well for Renegades, as you just saw there on the scoreboard, 11 and 8.
And a shot toward Toxic Barrel. Nade as well. That'll kill Havoc as there is no armor on anyone. Hiko going to look toward that short pipe. 12 spots up. Azure trying to get cheeky and in behind to take down some weapons. Elise will take Sponge, and this is going to put them on double digits. So again, it will be a T-sided half. But I'm not going to call anything after what we saw on Cobblestone.
I think that's definitely a wise move, but I just feel like Overpass is a much more difficult map to get T-sided. Not massively so, but I feel like Cobblestone is more friendly towards the Ts.
And to be fair, pre-patch, Liquid, their CT sides on this map have never really been in question. They've been absolutely almost perfect in some cases when they came back from something like 10 match points against CLG the other night. Ultimately lost due to having no kid on the 30th round, but it's definitely more promising than their Cobble side CTs.
Yeah. Cobblestone as well, like, we were saying this before about how, in fact, hold that thought for a second, because Nitro has just gone ridiculously aggressive through mid, has picked himself up a frag, but it's Azure again who's lurking in the shadows. Not the first time we've seen him use Smoke as Sanctuary. He has picked up a frag, and in doing so, now puts a lot of doubt in the minds of Liquid, who can't fully commit to pushing A. They have to be careful because of Az's back attack. What a shot that is onto Adren. That's massive, and now it puts us into a 3v3. Asa comes round from behind, not able to connect to third, but in doing so, allows Havoc to now peek and pick himself up a frag. That grenade falling a bit short.
Down to 25 HP though, Havoc. Bomb still up. Liquid bailed out on that idea as soon as those kills came in from Bathroom. And when Fugly dropped, or rather when Fugly went down to 46, better play was to stay safe. Renegades still have the thought that this might be on A. They're going to wait, stick together, play the retake game. Both with M4s and no kits again. One smoke to work with. As the bomb is planted, the second Havoc arrives. Fugly could slip down the ramp and through Monster. That's exactly what he's going to do. They'll play this very passively, Team Liquid, and just bait out the time. Again, no kits is a massive factor. Nades onto the site. No one close enough to take the damage. JKS going to try and creep closer. Excuse me. He's going to have to play bait here, and Hiko goes in to get the information. Now he knows they're split and not on the bomb just yet, so they don't even need to repeat this, but Hiko goes down through the smoke. They're going to try and hold this. JKS is on it. Fugly has to collect one, but also two. He may think that's the diffuser. He does think that's the diffuser as they were lined up, but fortunately, there's enough time as there was no kit. That was almost done.
Again, you absolutely hit the nail on the head there. He did think it was a diffuser at first, but went back in for the repeat just on the off chance it wasn't, because he had so much time to play with. So you can see there the importance of having a kit. Renegades didn't have one, and that's going to cost them big.
And it's lucky that smoke dissolved when it did, because look at that, about 2 seconds left by the time he did spot him. And if the smoke was still there, I highly doubt he even would have had the chance to do so.
Indeed. Another force buy coming up from Renegades. It makes sense, though, at these kind of stages of the map. Or half, I should say, of the map. Oh, jumping scout. He's going to connect onto Fugly.
Ooh,
he's looked for a second as well. And I think he tagged Havoc.
Hiko.
Sorry, not Havoc.
Havoc, yeah.
Yeah, he tagged his own teammate. Nice one, Vince. 10 out of 10.
It's possible. It's been done before. It's not ideal and
in
not
that
intended.
position, Hiko would have to be like... Well, Havoc would have to have a speed hack of some description. That would be mental.
Bounced off the water closet sign, off the wall behind him, wrapped around the map, and Havoc can be...
Like Wanted, right? The movie.
Absolutely. Curved bullets. But he goes down to 27 HP. Sponge is also trying to utilize this jump scout. Remember, it was round 14 in Cobble when they did exactly this, a force buy with that. At that time, I think it was 3 scouts. That was what gave them 2 more rounds to end 11-4, and ultimately that may have just been enough to give them that 16-14 victory. But Nitro,
really
able to take down Sponge now, does equalize this. And they'll walk with 1 man to the A site and 3 toward B. They're going to have to read this. JKS is in a great position inside water. or rather it's for construction. Azur's in water, and he might be able to just get in on the backstab here very quickly as the bomb is going to be tried to be planted from Nitro, and there it is, the 5-7. Oh, it doesn't connect. Same problem Fugly had on Cobble, and Hiko will follow that up by taking down Yam, and Renegades, they won't get the same fortune they did on Cobble.
Shooting people in the planting position is the most frustrating thing in the world, as he just found out there the hard way. It's such a pain in the backside. Very unfortunate. You can see here again, if you just watch this, Nitro turns around, and therefore the aim which was initially on his head becomes his ass, basically, and his shoulder. That's why it's so annoying to shoot people that are planting or defusing. I love that camera work, though. Yeah, super unlucky.
And a push toward bathrooms as well. They'll force again because it is 15. 2 M4s up this time, as well as the FAMAS, the Scout. And the MP7 for JKS. 1 kit on Sponge. No armor on Havoc. All kinds of little details that work against them right now. But an early pick works definitely toward them as Azur comes around the corner. And Fugly, he gets taken down very early on. Execution's still going to come on to B, though, and Havoc needs to be careful. Again, no armor. You mentioned this position before, behind the barrels.
Yep, unfortunately, though, this time he's going to get overrun. There's just too many Molotovs flashes flying around. JKS holding the angle here. This is a really good spot for him with the smoke being where it was. The bomb's been dropped. He pushes, and did Hiko just spin around and headshot him? I didn't quite catch that, but that was ridiculous nonetheless. And there's a third frag for Hiko. It's all on Yam. He does pick up the frag, but was dropped down to 8 HP. And now with that Molotov could burn, and indeed he will. Liquid, 13-2 T-side.
Where have we seen Hiko do that before? I feel like Anders misses catching Hiko. We had like the "Are you kidding me" moment on Cabo. We had the inhuman reactions here. I feel like I should just get out of the chair and let Anders take it over. It's his time to shine. But there you go. This time they do hit 13-2. What could have been on Cobble and may have been enough on Cobble now needs to be enough here as they switch over to the CT side of Overpass.
That's the one there. Yeah, he did spin around and just insta headshots JKS. Get wrecked. That was ridiculous. JKS had him dead to rights there.
Well, it's good to see Liquid at least showing some, I won't say, I guess you could use the word promise. I'll use the word potential on land, but they've always had potential on land. And they haven't really shown me promise because they kind of fell apart in the first map, but the skills around at least this time.
I feel like this shows resilience. This shows strength of character, because to lose a map the way that they did in that first one, a lot of teams would be emo right now. They'd be pushing that self-destruct button, you know? But not Liquid. They've came back and they're like, hey, you know, crap happens. Let's just bounce back.
Decoy grenades, 1 flash. Molotov and a smoke with the Renegades right now, plus armor. This is going to be a hard A hit, and they're going to try and go fast. Unfortunately, Liquid is pushed back right now. Player in bank stairs, player in electrical stairs, but nobody else. That's it. 3 players inside B. And it's going to have to be a retake game.
Very interesting strat. Where are the decoys going to get thrown? So back on long.
Maybe to give away, but Fugly taps through the smoke with the USP. Looks to line up another. Doesn't quite do as much damage to Yam as it looked like it could have, and now Fugly's going to get pushed as again they try and go in for this fast bomb plant. Kill is successful. Sponge takes down him, but JKS and Andren does mean that the bomb site, the 2 players are down. Nitro looking to come in for the retake, a 3rd one. That's brilliant, as now he has 3 kills in the round, and it's left to Yam. It's turned on its head. No kits, but they should, and I say should have plenty of time, but Yam brings it back to the one-on-one. Leave it to Hiko. The Rock of North America will defuse and give them 14 plus money. And Liquid, that's going to be massive right now.
Oh, Nitro, have my babies. I don't think that biologically works, but I'm sure we can make it work. Now, I don't even know what to say. Here's the replay. 3 ridiculous one-taps. This one is the one, though.
Boom.
Jeez.
He's always had so much skill. The thing with me is if you're going to play a lurk role, you have to have skill combined with
game sense.
Game sense and a way to outthink the opponent. No offense, Nitro, I don't give him that skill, and he's always wanted to play this lurk, but now that Hiko's here, you're not going to argue from a guy like Hiko and say, no, I'm going to lurk. That's his role. So now Nitro's forced to use the skill set, to use that just superior aim on entries, and man.
And it allows him to channel his energy that way as well. He doesn't have to worry about, you know, the thought process behind it. You know, he can fully focus onto, I have to get the red mist to descend, go tunnel vision mode, and just kill people. And that's strangely freeing as well for him, I'm sure. 14-2 though, I mean, this there's definitely half a mind towards Cash right now, I think it's safe to say.
Well, this is a big force buy from Renegades because naturally they have to with these Tech 9s out, and so far it's working. They'll get the first kill. They've all got head armor as well, and there's only 2 kits now left in play. Rifles still up, but they pushed themselves so far forward. This A site with the smokes, it's working out. Renegades, they've now got 3, make it 4 kills. It's a 1-on-4 for Hiko. P90. Does he push by Havoc? And it's an eco win from Renegades to buy themselves some time.
Yep, just calm their nerves a bit, steady themselves. Decent round as well, you know, very aggressive play, getting the bomb down and doing the work afterwards. This is a much steeper mountain, though, for them to climb than it was on Cobblestone. By a long shot. But every journey starts with a small step, and that's what we just saw there from Renegades.
There's a caster called Congo Kyle from South Africa who once said, "How do you eat an elephant?" One tiny little piece at a time.
There you go. That's very apt, I would say, for this situation right now.
Look at this stack from Liquid. 4 players out behind the rocks. They'll eventually all meet their demise, but it does do a decent amount of damage. JKS and Havoc go down altogether, and Azure, Yam, they go down on HP, 42 and 15 respectively, but ultimately it's just Eco remaining. And with that Eco round, Renegades have bought themselves some time. Are they prolonging the inevitable, or are we going to see the remarkable? Because Cobblestone was already miraculous enough with that comeback. It would be hard to believe they could do it twice, but let's not discount it as Hiko goes forward trying to hunt them down and will get taken out as a result.
The good news for Liquid, though, is they can continue to kind of save and try, I wouldn't even say wacky strats, but try more risky strats, like high risk, high reward, knowing they've got a 10-round buffer right now. Like, there's no pressure on their shoulders. If we start to see Renegades hitting double digits, like it goes 14-10, then I think the panic button is going to get pushed. But until that point, here we go. There's another eco for Liquid. No reason for them to force buy. They got loads of time here. And this is just the smart play. And I like this as well. They're stacking 3 players in connector.
The other aspect right now of Renegades is that by picking up the M4, it just adds that much more to their economy. Even if this hits 15, they won't break right away. And should they stay efficient in this round, even more to the point. Passive again on A as well. Elige, good pick on Azure this time.
Well, the issue there, though, for Liquid is the 2 back players who are trying to come around from the connector side and bathroom have both died, but maybe it doesn't matter because there's an AK in the hands of Elige. And suddenly Renegades are in all sorts of trouble here. Yam has picked off a frag. JKS chimes in as well. It's all on Hiko. He's got the 5-7. There's the first frag. Going for the instant reshot there, but doesn't connect anything onto Yam. 40 seconds here, Matt, and
this is smart.
Fake.
Smart by Yam to fake this out.
Yep.
Hiko's not even going to bother peeking it. He wants confirmation that the bomb's planted before he shows himself, and now he's got it. But there's no rifle close to him, so he's going to stick with this 5-7. I thought he might consider rotating to the other stairwell. Yam goes very passive out of the sight. Now Hiko does have a chance to pick up an AK just to his right. He's going to see that, but he knows he's got to keep his gun focused on the angle. Flash is over, but thinks better of it. Remember, no kit as well, so the more time that goes on here, Yam, it favors him, and right now he's playing this perfectly. Hiko can do nothing of it, and he's going to want to save this AK-47, but with 6 HP, he's going down. He won't even make it to the exit point of the radius.
Yeah, Yam played that, as you said, absolutely perfectly. No need to repeat, no need to go aggressive. Hiko has the 5-7 at close to mid-range. 5-7 can still completely destroy you with Kevlar. Take it long range, give the advantage to the AK-47. Knowing that Hiko wouldn't have had armor as well is pretty significant because it allows him to get the trade-off at the end. And so it was very well played. But what an attempt, though, from Liquid. Like, that should have been a clear-cut, easy round for Renegades. As it stands, they lost a lot of weapons. There's still more than enough to replenish those AKs, though. Plus the M4, of course, that was saved.
Tren, this forward play, it works out. He missed the first shot, surely. I thought they'd wrap around in a second. That one was quick, and now, as we saw in Cobble late, is Adren going to be enough to give them a round? It fell apart on them the first time, but now with Elige picking up Yam, it's all down to just JKS, and it could be map point, and is going to be map point now for Team Liquid. 10 of them to work with. And as you said, Cash almost seems inevitable at this point in time.
Yep, and we both said coming into this that we feel Liquid are the stronger team on Cash. We felt it would go 2-1 to Liquid.
And lots to be said about their Cash because they've changed things up. They no longer play Nitro on that A site where he and Fugly were like the force to be reckoned with of all of North America on that map, and he now plays between B and mid depending on the situation, and it's been working out as well. So there's CT side. I mean, it's going to be a T-sided battle again. Whoever comes away with the most rounds on T side.
Yeah, and Cash, one of those maps, of course, where you can get a bunch of T rounds. It's not super CT-sided, definitely not the case. Renegades, oh, you can see their buy-up is far from ideal. A lot rests on Yam's shoulders here. He needs to get a pick. If he can't get a pick, they have a distinct lack of utility as well. 3 smokes and nothing else. In fact, pardon me, 4 smokes and a Molotov, so that is actually enough. Still, the AWP needs to come in big here.
4 kits this time as well for Team Liquid, so even if it does come into a retake or a plant situation, they'll have a little bit more time than they've had in the past to work with. Yam's going to check every single angle, walking forward. Fugly in the danger zone behind that truck, because if he takes one careless step, that AWP was staring him down as JKS and Yam going to line up smokes to walk in. Eco's going to play behind them, and now Fugly tries to spray through them, but in the corner, this is the big one. It goes against them. Adren's going to have to respond to this. They try and shut down the default plant, and in the end, it works out. The first kills go the way of the Australians, but the rest, they go the way of the Americans, and it's down to just JKS. 100 HP, it has to be said, and Adren and Hiko both significantly low enough for the M4 to do some massive damage. If you can pull this back to just Fugly, there is a chance.
10 seconds, though.
But yeah, exactly. More to the point. The bomb out of reach. I'd like to see him go for this just so we've got some highlight reel material, but in the end, Hiko will close it out. And Liquid will bring the series even. Can they redeem themselves from falling away on Cobble on Cash? That's going to be the question. Either way, we knew this group was going to be promising.
We definitely did. It was, you coined it the group of death for a reason, Sadakis, at the start of the day. And certainly has been living up to expectations, guys. But we're going to cut to a quick commercial break while the players go and have a much-deserved break, I would say. So rejoin us in a few moments for Cash in this all-decisive third map.